Hello, my name is Paul and I'm from the UK. The JCB hunt is about to get interesting. Toby Eunice is making a comeback. He had a YouTube channel on the thrill of the chase, Forrest Fenn hunt, and he worked alongside Cowlazars. One would do a live show in the week and one would do a live show at the weekend. And they did these Q&As, and Toby was doing phone phone in and we'll have a private conversation and I'll charge you $50 to talk chase. Private conversation. He had his CIA connections, his NSA connections. Now he's working with AI. Cowlazars had all their sources. And buy me a coffee and let me take your chat money. Just stick your question in there in the comments, and if you pay for it, then I'll answer it straight away. So that's how it's going to go. That's how it's going to go. And it's going to drag on and drag on and drag on. When I did my videos on the front of the chase, I put videos out there on solves that I'd come up with. And I put them out there to try and help people. I don't want the fame. I don't want the greed. I never wanted people to subscribe to my channel. I never asked for chat money or anything. All I ever asked for was, don't give your chat money away. Go out and buy a tree. If you're out there in the wilds and you've taken your family, go and plant a tree somewhere. Then when you go back there the following year with your family, the memories of that tree will always be there. And it's good for the environment. Or give some money to a homeless person. And I got criticised quite a lot for that. For myself, I think it was good. It's better than giving your money to somebody else to get information from a source or an NSC person or a CIA person. You know, these ones that are just don't exist, that type of thing. So anyway, I'm going to put up what I've come up with. It could be right, it could be wrong, but I'm going to see if I can help anybody. If anybody's prepared to just go and have a look, just for curiosity, or they're going to look back in the chapter of the JCB book and think, well, I'm going to see what I can come up with. How come he's come up with that? He lives in Britain, not in America. How does he come up with these? Because I study it. I've studied the chapters. And I'm not the brightest ninja in the temple, but everybody's got imagination. We're all wired up differently. The Appalachian mountain chest. Of the homework that I've done on that chapter, and I didn't even look at the map that John put in the book. And I come up with Major Lewis Redman. He wasn't actually a major, he was just given that name because of when he dealt with moonshine when he was a boy. It's like the Brewers when they called it the Brewers, something like that, when they were all gathered in the garage. So I played along with that chapter. It's a little bit like when John was talking about he wanted to be a treasure hunter on a ship, and he imagined himself being stood on that boat, and the wind blowed into his hair. It was blowing his hair, his blonde hair with the locks in his hair. And I thought to myself, why does he make that statement? Why does he throw that in your face, so to speak? And then you've got the hobnail boots for that chapter, for that chest, and the three locks. And the locks go with the locks in his hair. And that takes you to a grave digger that stood at the archway of a graveyard. And I'm not saying it's the graveyard, there's more to that solve, which I'm going to talk about in the next video. But to me, that's things that stand out, and you've got to look at why has he actually put that? Why did he word it like that in his chapters? So I think the Appalachian chest, the Appalachian Trail, is at Major Lewis Redmond's cabin. The cabin that he built up there in the mountains, the river at the back. And this cabin is facing, it's next to a cliff. That's at the back of it. And from his cabin, he can see all the trails. If anybody's coming, the sheriff or anybody like that, it's like his little fortress. And one night, the dog started barking. There was somebody knocking about. It was the sheriff and his deputies. And you can read that story. Then when I had a look at the map, I seen a tree and a dog. And many other things in the chapter took me to him. It didn't divert me off onto different things where a lot of people have gone. Because I think when people do a treasure hunt, they put words in there that give a different meaning to what you think, and then that's got to go in with the poem, and you've got to work that out. And that's what I've come up with anyway. Major Lewis Redmond. And I don't really want to go through the chapter and tell you how I work that out. So if you live near this place, read the story, read about it, and you're not that far away, go and have a look and take your book with you and read the chapter and read it with your wife or your partner or whoever and see what you can come up with. And if you find it, good luck to you. Because I would like to see the JCB hunt end as soon as possible before YouTubers destroy it like they did with the Forrest Fenn hunt. And this is just my opinion. They ruined it. And many people turned against him. I get called a brown nose because of how I speak about Forrest Fenn. And to me, he was a good guy. If I thought it was a fraud, I would never have entered the chase, like many believed at the time. And because the ending hasn't worked out right, they call him a fraud, and so on and so on. And many of his friends shoved a knife in his back when he passed. They turned against him. And YouTubers. And YouTubers. I don't mind being called a brown nose. My nose now is bigger than Pinocchio's, and it's growing every day. Forrest Fenn to me was a nice bloke. I admired him. I admired what he'd done with his life. I would have loved to have gone in his house, and if he would have left me in the vault and walked away like he did with many people, and people said he probably had cameras in there, that camera would have picked me up touching every single thing he had in that vault and looking at it. And if I was in his study, I would have done the same thing. I'm not a thief, but it would have been out of my control. I would not have been able to help myself, but I would have pre-warned him of that before he even walked in his house. And yeah, I think he was a good guy. I would love to have been on San Lazaro with him when he was digging. I think he would have had to have got the police to remove me because I wouldn't have wanted to leave. And yeah, and if people want to call me a brown nose, the people that liked Forrest Fenn themselves when they put up videos and then they didn't like him and then they liked him and then they didn't like him. That's people with many masks. So yeah, I won't turn on Forrest Fenn. I will always be here for him. Good luck. It's all in my opinion, by the way, of what I think the poem is, the chapters are saying to me. And I think, this is what I do think, if you can solve one of them chapters and find one chest, I believe you will find them all because there is a pattern within them chapters that take you to that chest. And people jump straight in for the lion's share. I don't think you're going to solve this if you're looking for the lion's share. You have to look for the other chests first because I think he's put a pattern. And if you can solve one, you can take the pattern of how he's written it into the next chapter. And I think you're going to be the person that will solve all four, the lion's chest, everything. That's just my opinion. The next one is coming soon. Bye.